want you to live happily ever after. We want you to understand that there is a path that you have set into motion and that you are continuing to set into motion. And that when you figure out how to feel the vibe of your path and you work consistently by focusing to be on that vibrational frequency, that the manifestational evidence will help you to know that you are right on your path. Being the deliberate creator of your own reality does not mean looking for the path. It means creating an atmosphere that allows you to see the path right beneath your feet. Do you believe that? Do you believe that Source is at your back? Do you believe that the well-being is really yours to be lived? If you don't, it's only because you've been depriving yourself of it and you're letting the now reality contour your beliefs. We want you to believe in the laws of the universe as we know them to be. We want you to believe in your emotional guidance system as you feel it all day, every day. We want you to practice thinking and feeling on purpose until you can show yourself that you can feel outside of the conditions. That was one of the things that Esther enjoyed most about last evening's escapade. It was more funny to her than anything else. It wasn't the end of the world. It wasn't upheaval. It wasn't anything to condemn or blame. It was only a problem that required a solution. And that is the zest of life, you know. That's at the heart of becoming. Very often, your own source will lead you to a realization of a problem because it is on the path toward the solution. If you don't bring a problem into focus, you sure are not going to bring a solution into focus. And without the two of them, you will not have expansion. So it's time to make peace with the contrast in general terms and to accept that all really is well with you. Stop beating up on yourself. I'm going to show you how to feel about you the way we feel about you. And when you start feeling about you the way we feel about you, oh, the avalanche of stuff that's in your vortex will begin flowing into your experience in such a profound and magnificent way that you may very well say, stop the goodness, I can't take anymore. Nah, you're gluttons, you'll like it all. So I want this, and I believe that it is in the process of becoming. And I am satisfied with where it is right now at this phase along my path. Now that's the perfect emotional vibrational stance. When you recognize that there is always going to be something more that you will want, you will never be in a place of completion ever. So as long as you are happy in your eternal incompletion, then you can live happily ever after. But if you need a condition to change, if you need a situation to be different, if you need that phone to stop ringing before you can be happy, then you're, as Esther says, screwed. Because there are always conditions that are going to be out of your control. In fact, more conditions are out of your control than are in your control when you take on the whole of everything that you may be giving your attention to. So the key to living happily ever after, having all of the success that you were born to have, and by success we mean alignment, joy, and everything that will follow that, which is everything you desire. The key to that is understanding that you are a vibrational being, first and foremost. And once you get that, now here's the part that's a little tricky for you to hear. So we're going to say it, and then we're going to say it, and then we're going to say it because we want you to get this. When you're able to find alignment unconditionally, and we'll show you how to do it, then your alignment generates conditions that are pleasing. But feel the trap in that. Because in the moment, your motive is to change the condition so that you can feel better. Now you're twirled up in it in a backwards way. So Abraham, did I hear you right? If I love unconditionally, now instead of using the word unconditional love for a minute, let's use some other words that mean the same thing. Unconditional clarity, unconditional fun, unconditional ease, unconditional alignment, love, appreciation, alignment, ease, clarity, yes, unconditional alignment. So once you find this unconditional alignment, then things that are in your vortex move into your reality where you can realize them. But until you find it, then they can't. And so, can you feel the trap that so many of you put yourselves in? Esther has been writing. She's filled 2 notebooks up in the last 2 days with this understanding. So something will happen, or she will become aware of something that is a condition that she does not like as it stands. So she'll write, condition that I need to change. She's really sticking it to herself a little bit. A condition that I need to change so that I will feel better. Now she knows the flaw in that reasoning. In other words, she's just leading herself to an epiphany, and it's working every time. The condition that I need to change so that I can feel better. Well, a condition like this, you can't change. That's a condition you can't change. That's not something that's going to change. Jerry made his transition. That's a condition that is not going to change. That condition, I want this person here playing with me the way we used to play together. That's a condition that won't change. So when you say, I need this condition to change before I can feel better, feel the trap in that. But that's the way Esther's writing it. What is the condition that I require a change? And then she's writing, because I want that condition to change so that I can feel. And then she's been writing a series of emotions that she will feel. And then she says, using all of her logic that she's gathered as she's picked up along this trail with us, the 8 years you've been listening are going to serve you really well. She says, well, I can find these emotions. I cannot change that condition, but I can find these emotions. So then she just sits and writes the emotional words until she feels the shift take place. And every single time she feels the shift take place. And then, you know what happens? Then Jerry's right there, thinking in her head, moving to the music, enjoying something that she's eating, basking in the beauty of the pool. Undeniable, you see. You have to show it to yourself. We began talking to you about your point of attraction, you in your human body. You stand right here and now. Where you stand right here and now, what is your point of attraction? What is the vibrational atmosphere that you have created? Are you ornery? Are you irritated? Are you afraid? Are you angry? Are you blameful? Are you guilty? If you're feeling those emotions on a pretty steady basis, that means you are holding yourself steadily in vibrational discord to who you really are and what you really want. And the thing that is so interesting about that is that if life hadn't caused you to expand, you wouldn't even feel the discord. In other words, it's not somebody else's idea of who you should be. It's not God's idea of who you should be. It's not your mother's idea, although sometimes it feels like it, of who you should be. It's your own internal discord. Life caused you to want to be this, but you're being this, and that's what negative emotion always means. As Esther was talking, negotiating, wrestling to the ground and killing last night, the really nice man across the hall who was responsible, who said that the fire marshal would not allow more than 400 people in the room. And Esther kept looking at the sign on the wall. It says 474 people on that sign. How can the fire marshal not let us have 474 people when the sign says 474 people? And he says, because you've got too much other stuff. And Esther said, but we always have this stuff with us. We take this stuff everywhere we go. We have a truck. We drag this stuff everywhere we go. We do this all the time. So as Esther is talking to this man, then he said, what's your seminar about? Yeah. Esther said, I hate you. The seminar is about, it's about getting what you want. It's about figuring out how under all conditions to make things work out the way you want them to be. And it's about living happily ever after. Actually, Esther was very pleasant with him, and he was very pleasant with her, but they had a situation. So what we are wanting you to understand is that in every moment, you have a vibrational relationship with who you really are. And if you hadn't become something that you're not now being, you would not feel the discord. That's the most important thing to know about your emotions. If you are not feeling good, it always means the same thing. You are not vibrationally up to speed with who you really are and what you really want. And there's no getting around it. Hear these words. There's no condition that you can wrestle to the ground in any way that is going to change that. Because it's not the condition that's got you all upset. It's the vibrational inconsistency. It's the vibrational variance. It's the resistance that you are introducing in this moment to a frequency that is dominant, you see. Well, before this day is over, you're going to understand completely why we, from Source, are able to hold things from an unconditional viewpoint. We'll give you a statement that you may be ready to receive, and then we'll fill in the gaps as we continue over the next few hours. But the reason that we are able to focus upon any situation unconditionally is because the current conditions, or the what isness of whatever it isness, doesn't mean diddly squatness. In other words, what is doesn't matter, because what is only a temporary reflection of the vibration that you got going on. So we want to explain to you what we mean. You were source energy before you came into this physical body. And a part of you is focused here in this physical body, but a larger part of you is still non-physically focused. You are source energy, and a part of that source energy is focused here and now. So in your human form, you sift through, you know what you don't want, you know what you do want, you continue to sift through the data, and you constantly, whether you know you are doing it or not, are launching rockets of desire. We call them rockets of desire. They're your personal preferences. When someone's rude, you want them to be nicer. When you're rude, you want to be nicer. When you don't have enough money, you want more money. In other words, life just causes you to sift and sort and launch these rockets. So this vibrational becoming is happening constantly. And it is a vibrational becoming. Now, it hasn't manifested yet, therefore it's unconditional. You see what we're getting at? It hasn't manifested into conditions for you to observe. It hasn't manifested into a condition that is unpleasant or into a condition that is pleasant. It's a vibrational rocket of desire that has created. If you've been listening to us for a while, you've seen all of our creative ways of trying to explain to you this stuff that is not physical into this, what we've been calling a vibrational reality. We even gave it the name of a vortex. It's this vibrational state of being that is the precursor to everything else that is coming for you. So this vibrational state of being, which is where your inner being stands, it's where we stand, it's who you really are, has not yet manifested. It has become in terms of an idea. It has become in terms of a hope or a dream. There's enough in your vortex to keep you busy for 20 or 30 lifetimes. In other words, it is the beginning of that which you are. And you know that vortex existed before you were even born into your physical body, because there was a projection of intention from non-physical. There was a vibrational reality that had so much to do about you before you were even born into this physical body. Do you see what we're getting at? This vibrational precursor of that which is you. It was like the vibrational plan. It was like the vibrational probability. It's the vibrational reality. So now you're here in your physical body. You're adding to this vibrational reality. The question that we want to help you ask and answer for yourself is, how much of a vibrational gap is there between the things that life has caused me to ask for and the things that I believe, the things that I practice in my thought? And you can tell, two ways you can tell. One is by the way you feel. If you're joyful, there's no gap. If you're feeling appreciation, there's no gap. If you're angry, quite a big gap. That's one way. You can tell by the emotions that you feel. But the other way is you can tell by how things are manifesting. Because when who you are and what you want and what you think on a regular basis are in the same vibrational frequency, it's manifesting all around you. Others can see it and hear it and smell it and taste it and touch it too. It is a reality. It is a what is. It is a manifestation. You want to call it reality. It is real in the sense that others see it too.